Carolina Homecoming, a romance inspired by the Book of Ruth. Thanksgiving Books and Blessings, Book 1. Written by Heather Blanton, narrated by Leonor A. Woodworth. Forward. Dear reader, being in a Christian bubble, it's easy to forget that not everyone knows their Bible. I was participating in a Facebook party to promote Carolina Homecoming when a reader told me she wasn't familiar with the story of Ruth, Noemie, and Boaz. If you have never read this family's inspiring story of love, friendship, and loyalty, I encourage you to check out the Book of Ruth. It is sandwiched between Judges and 1 Samuel in the Old Testament of the Bible. To summarize, Noemie was an Israelite who moved with her husband and 2 sons to a foreign land during a famine in Israel. The boys grew up and married Moabite women, pagans, but then the young men and their father were killed. Heartbroken and downright disgusted with God, Noemie threw up her hands in despair and declared she was going back to her own home place in Bethlehem. She suggested her daughters-in-law go back to their people. However, one of them, Ruth, refused to leave Noemie and accompanied her back to Israel. Times were tight and finances slim for the 2 ladies. Noemie told Ruth to go glean in the fields to put some bread on the table. It turned out the field she picked belonged to a man named Boaz, a distant cousin of Noemie's. He saw Ruth working like a dog and asked about her. Well, word travels fast in a small town. Everybody knew she was Noemie's daughter-in-law, that she'd been widowed, but had refused to leave her mother-in-law's side. Boaz was impressed with the young woman's loyalty and ordered his servants to let her glean undisturbed, as well as throw a little extra wheat her way. When Noemie heard about her cousin's generosity, she must have gotten that certain matchmaking twinkle in her eye. Being that Boaz was kin, he was entitled to claim her homestead, the girls along with it, and provide for them. Noemie instructed Ruth to go to the threshing floor after everyone was asleep, find Boaz, and curl up at his feet. This was a sort of marriage proposal, and Boaz was all in. Apparently, he and Ruth had spent the barley harvest falling in love. Yet he seemed surprised by her offer, and mentioned how he appreciated her ignoring younger men to choose him. This suggests to me he was sensitive about his age. Perhaps he saw himself as too old.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?